Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another RPG Maker tutorial. This is going to be part 11, 2, and we're going to continue on with our custom battle system. So last video we went over battle map A, and this video we're going to go over battle map B. And you can see the significant amount of changes from one map to the other is in this region right here. So essentially we'll just be covering these 6 events, and also we modified this event right here, so we'll be going over that as well. The first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that this teleport goes to battle map B, which it does, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what battle map B looks like before we go into the details. So I'm just going to hit play, save. Okay, so that is the functionality for battle map B. You can get a sense of what's going on. We have our GUI set up, and we have the starting poses for both the player character and the monster character, which then transitions to their standing poses. So before I cover that, let me just remind you guys here from the previous tutorial we set up all our animations. Remember that 0 for the enemy is going to be its starting pose. So in this situation, or in this scenario, the enemy monster is a wolf who begins the battle by howling. For the hero, 0 is going to be the hero starting pose. So you can see this is essentially what we have going on. And that's important because all I'm doing here in this event is, first of all, I'm showing this picture here, which I made in Photoshop. You can do something similar, or you can create your own GUI. You can see I have just a blank picture with well, this is the starting one, so whenever the battle starts, it's going to be on attack. And then I also have pictures set up for the different options, but you can see that the HP, MP, and the XP bars are all blank, so there's nothing going on there. This is just the background essentially, and then I have a move picture, and I'm basically just changing the transparency so it becomes visible and gives it that transition effect. Wait 0.5 seconds. I could have also done a halt, other processes during transition here, but I chose just to do a wait. Either one works. And then I have a variable operation, hero 1 enemy action. I set that to 1, and I also set the enemy 1 enemy action to 1. So remember, if we go back here, it's always going to be 0 at first. When we set it to 1, after 0.5 seconds, it's going to loop through this animation, and then in 0.5 seconds, it's going to go to the hero standing, and in 0.5 seconds, it's going to go from the wolf howl animation to the wolf standing animation. Alright, now we're going to just go over the rest of these 6 events, which is the bulk of this map. First of all, let's start with the mob HP. So I have a variable precondition set up here. If the enemy 1 type is 0, this enemy 1 type variable is basically just setting up your battle. So this is going to be enemy 1, and if the type is 0, then it's going to have this amount of HP. If you had a different enemy, say a ogre instead of a wolf, then you could set that enemy type to, you could copy this page, perhaps paste this page, set this enemy type to 1, and 1 would signify ogre, and then you could have the HP set up accordingly to that monster's stats. I'm just going to delete that page. So I just have a conditional conditional branches set up here. So if mob 1 HP is 0, then show this picture, and that's how I have it set up. This is the image essentially. If I scroll through, you can see that, you know, it increases and decreases, whatever. But yeah, you just want that. The orange is obviously going to be the transparent bit, and you just kind of want to lengthen this so that the red HP bar appears over the monster's sprite. So that's basically what you would do. This is monster 5. If the variable is equal to 1, then display that graphic. And obviously you want to do it over the enemy, so enemy 1x, enemy 1y, for the variable reference. And remember, we set that up here. So enemy 1x is this event's screen relative. So we did that last tutorial. Same thing goes for the hero HP. If hero HP is 0, and this is the precondition for this is if hero 1 any action is greater than or equal to 1. So this is going to show up after the hero's pose runs through. So let me go back here. So this is action, hero 1 any action, variable is equal to 0. So once this goes through in 0.5 seconds, once it switches to 1, which is a standing pose, then this will be this event will be activated, so the HP bar will show. So this is the HP bar full. If here's HP is equal to 1, then it decreases a bit. So essentially what we're doing is, as these variables hero HP increase, the graphics for the hero HP bar decreases, and same thing for the mob. If as the mob HP increases in terms of the variable, the bar will decrease. So mob H1 HP is 7. You can see that the bar here decreases almost to non-existent. You can set it up this way, or you can set it up in a different way. You can set it up so when the mob's HP is 8, then a full HP bar is displayed over the monster. You can do it that way. The only problem with that is you have to make sure that you change the variable prior to each battle so that it is full. If I do it this way, I'm basically starting off the battle with a variable of 0 for HP, for the HPs, hero and monster. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I mean, and if it doesn't, then maybe all I can recommend is watching my other tutorials. I can, also put this this folder up online for you guys to download and kind of, get in here yourselves and play around with. If that's something you guys want, then I can do that. But anyways, this is going to be the hero XP. It's same thing. So if hero XP is 0, you don't have anything. If hero XP is 1, then I have a show picture here. If hero XP is 6, then I have a show picture here. Or 5, excuse me, I have a show picture here. And if it's 6, then we know we're setting it back to 0. So once it reaches, once the bar reaches into its maximum capacity, the next time the hero gets a plus 1 HP or EXP, it'll go back to 0. So this is essentially a level up condition. So once the hero levels up, he'll be back to 0, and then back to 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So that's that. This is basically how I'm setting up the player inputs for the GUI. I have a key input process. All I'm using is the down key, up key, decision, and cancel key for this menu. If you have a horizontal menu or something, you'll probably want to use the left and right keys. If you have a radial menu, you'll probably want to use maybe all these keys, whatever you want to do. But for my battle system, the GUI setup, so I only need to press up and down and the enter and cancel keys. this is basically if the player presses down, remember 1 stands for down, then the following will happen. So I just have a sound effect. It's a default RTP sound effect. And then I have another variable called battle menu selections. If it's 3 or more, you know, for my menu, we have like attack, magic items, and run. So we have 4 options. So 0 through 3 gives us 4 options. So if it's 3 or more, then we'll set it to 0, meaning if I'm highlighting run in my GUI and I press down, it'll go back to attack. Otherwise, it would just go +1. So this is 4. 4 is equivalent to up, the up key. So if the player presses up key, you know, sound effect again. If this variable is equal to 0, which means that if the attack option is highlighted, then you would go to 3, which means that once I press up from the attack option, it would go to run. Otherwise, it would be -1. We've covered this before, so actually we've covered how to do this before in our radial menu. We've covered how to do similar things like this before, the HP, you know, using conditions and stuff. So this should be all fairly common to you by now, if you've been keeping up with the video tutorials, or if you're, you know, if you played around with RPG Maker yourself. So this is going to be our battle display. This should also be common to you. You know, remember we had this variable here that we're manipulating in the conditional branch battle menu selection. We're either doing +1 if the hero presses down, or -1 if the hero presses up. So if it's equal to 0, then this is the display event, so attack would be displayed, while if it's equal to 3, then run would be displayed for the GUI. You know, the preconditions for these are once the hero has gone through his entry pose, or whatever you want to call it, and is now in a standing pose. So if hero 1 any action is greater than or equal to 1, okay, that should be the precondition here and here as well. And this final one is I named it menu choices. So right now I only have if battle menu selection is equal to 3, so that means if run is highlighted on our GUI. I have, you know, this condition here. Remember, we set up the key input process here for battle KP. So if battle KP is equal to 5, which is equal to the decision key right here, you can see 5, then the following happens. So this is basically saying if run is highlighted and the player presses enter, then the following will occur. We have a sound effect here, and then we have a show picture 50, nighttime. Remember, you want like you want a picture like this that will go over all other graphics to be set at its highest value, highest possible value, which is 50 for this particular engine. I have the transparency set very high, so it transitions with this move picture event line. You know, we're just setting the transparency to 0, which means you know, black out the screen. Transition time is pretty quick, 0.3 tenths of a second. We're just waiting 0.2 tenths of a second, and then we have a couple of changes that we're making. We're changing the sprite association for this hero back to its normal sprite association. Then we set the enemy 1 any action 0. The hero 1 any action is back to 0. So when we exit out of this battle, if we were to enter back into it, you would see the hero starting position, or the entry pose, and the enemy 1 entry pose all over again. And then we also have this battle menu selection back to 0. And that's basically so if, you know, you exit this battle by running and you enter back into it, it's not going to be over, the GUI isn't going to highlight, you know, say run or magic or items or whatever the options are. Instead, it will go back to highlighting attack. And then we have a simple teleport, and we're teleporting back to this map. So let me show you guys that one more time. So we can't attack, we can't use magic or anything like that. You can see the animations shifted through from entry animations to standing animations for both monster and hero. And then if I hit run, it goes back to this map, and you can see if I go back to the battle map, it won't be run won't be highlighted, rather attack will be highlighted. Okay, because we set that variable to 0, that battle selection variable, battle menu selection variable to 0. So that's going to be it for this week's tutorial. Next week we'll finish up this custom battle system, and we'll get these guys attacking each other and all that good stuff. But I realized this was a bit fast. You should at this point be able to keep up with everything I went over. Nothing is new. Nothing we covered is new here. We've done all of this before in previous tutorials. So if you are having any confusion with that, please watch those. If you enjoy my tutorials, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Consider, I'm not gonna force that into anyone, but consider doing that to help me out if you feel I've helped you out. If not, you can comment or message me and let me know how I could improve these tutorials. So I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully I've had a bit of a delay with this. I was supposed to put this tutorial out last week, but I've just been actually pretty stressed out with other things in my personal life. But hopefully I'll have I'll start doing the Photoshop tutorial soon, and kind of shift into other areas that I'm passionate about and that I think will help even more people out than just these RPG Maker tutorials. But like always, I will continue to do RPG Maker tutorials via requests. So if you guys have any requests for me, I'll see if I can help you guys out. So take care, and I'll see you guys next week for the finale of this custom battle systems tutorial.